Music has sort of unintentionally become the main focus of this channel. And while I do certainly plan on making videos on other mediums of entertainment in the future, primarily some of my favorite shows and movies, it's probably going to remain like this for a while. This is also a bit of a long one, so strap in. First up on the list is Knocked Loose sophomore effort, A Different Shade of Blue. If you're into hardcore, or if you want to get into hardcore, this is one of the records to listen to. Abrasive, boisterous, quick, and an unforgettable experience, Knocked Loose returns with a hell of a record. Between the thudding drums and guitar licks, splitting vocals, and plenty of finger-pointing lyrics to go around, there will be one song on this album that you enjoy, especially between the likes of Belleville, mistakes like Fractures, Forget Your Name, and I Still Wander South, and Denied by Fate. Give it a listen. Second is Bring Me the Horizon's album Amo. Or Amo? Amo? You know what I mean. This is already going to be sort of a controversial pick, as I know a lot of people did not like this record, like, at all. The group has obviously come a long, long way since Count Your Blessings was released back in 2006. And that's the thing, this band has been around for over a decade, and if you really expect them to be putting out the same music in 2019 that they were in 2006, you've got to be at least a little bit daft. Amo is an incredibly ambitious record on almost every single track. From the distorted intro, I Apologize If You Feel Something, that leads into the banger of a lead single that is Mantra, from the heavy Wonderful Life to the poppy Medicine, from the almost entirely produced Ouch to the cynical heavy metal, they do something new on every track, and it sounds great. It was a little bit for everyone, while still including a lot of the things that make them Bring Me the Horizon. Also, the record live is fucking incredible. Next up on the list is Cosmic Thrill Seekers by Prince Daddy and the Hyena, and fuck is this a good album. This is one where I really don't know where to start. Doing a track-by-track analysis would take too long, and we got about another 18 or so records to sift through, so let's maybe not do that. The simple answer, as blunt as it is to just go listen to the record. Every song on it is beautifully crafted from every member of the band, from the violent yet soothing vocals, decadent yet comforting lyrics, intricate guitar licks, pounding bass lines, and bouncy percussion, with many of the tracks fitting beautifully into one another. It's just really fucking good, and will probably be one of my favorite albums for a very long time. Next is Microwave's Death is a Warm Blanket. I've already described how much love I have for their previous record, Much Love. Death is a Warm Blanket, however, their newest record, is an interesting one. In the first couple listens I gave this thing, I was sort of put off by the harsh and abrasive nature of the record. While Microwave had some harder elements in their music before, it was never really the primary focus. On Death is a Warm Blanket, though, it shows up pretty often. Like I said, though, after a few listens, it really started to grow on me. They capture this new, aggressive sound almost perfectly, and deserve a lot more credit than I originally gave them. Death is a Warm Blanket is interesting from start to finish, refining their sound even better with their new production from Pure Noise Records. It's a super great collection of music and deserves a listen from new and old fans of the band, and even those who are just now hearing from them. Next up is one of my favorite local band's newest Christmas present, NAV's Family Gathering. NAV is a self-proclaimed jazz punk DIY band, and I have never heard any other more accurate description of a band. Family Gathering features an incredible mix of fast-paced songs you could possibly slow dance to, and instrumentals that make you just want to Nate Lambort's smooth vocals often remind me of smooth songs from the 30s and 40s, American football, and even some sports, something that I didn't know that I needed. NAV hits hard with their debut, and hits very beautifully. Brockhampton's Ginger is next, and it sure is a doozy. I'm not going to catch everyone up on everything that's happened to the best boy band since One Direction over the past couple years, but it has been a roller coaster and a half, to say the least. The point is that they've been through a lot, and it is incredibly apparent on Ginger. Their most emotionally vulnerable and expressive project to date, they tackle some very difficult issues, and still manage to make it out with a handful of bangers. Ginger is not a release you want to miss from the boys, and you're certainly missing out on it if you do. Unsurprisingly, next is Igor by Tyler the Creator. Pretty much everything that can have been said about this record has been said long before this video even came to fruition. So I won't bore you with the look how good this record is, Those of you who have listened to the record either enjoyed it or didn't, and those who haven't listened to it yet probably won't for a while. With that said, I think Igor is pretty good. Live it goes crazy, and it's here on my list. As always, the visuals for Tyler's work are equally as cool, and that makes me love it even more. This next one is sort of a last-minute addition, but next is Insignificant Others, I'm So Glad I Feel This Way About You. Insegui's debut lives up to everything they've been promising for forever, and the 39 minutes the record holds goes by far too quickly. From the opening track, aptly named the same as the record, to the downtrodden January, the aggressive Don't At Me Devin, to the romantic Real Date, the wholesome Un Mensaje, to the reprise of I'm So Glad, every track is memorable in its own right, and kicks ass on every level. I totally just butchered that Spanish name, by the way, so I'm very sorry about that. Now venturing back into the realm of hip-hop, IDK's Is He Real is up next. I've always been a sucker and a half for religious mockery and subtext, and this album is chock full of it. Pretentious, yet contemplative, Is He Real explores some really cool themes in the idea of sin, afterlife, and general higher power over some of the hardest beats and sickest flows you've ever heard. A personal favorite of mine is Porno, the song that introduced me to both IDK and the record. And I want to just play this intro for you real quick to get an idea of how the record will generally go.
When I got you on my mind, ain't no room for a thought. When you laying on my chest, ain't no room for my heart. Girl, you know we wasting time like tick, tick, tick. Girl, you sucking up my time like tick, tick, tick. The Bible say beating my dick and killing is equal, but that don't add up, cause the amount of times that I milk my shit'll probably be considered cereal. Them Cocoa Puffs.
If that sounds interesting to you in even the slightest, go ahead and check it out. I swear that you will be entertained. Next up is Secret Band's second project, LP2. Akin to their name, there's never really a lot of information on the group. They kinda just show up, drop a project, and fuck off for a while again. But good fuck, when they do show up, they make one hell of an entrance and exit. LP2 goes harder than ever before. John Mess is a blessing to this earth, and anyone who hears any of his music cannot tell me otherwise whatsoever. Even just writing this gets me going, because fuck, this record goes so hard. If you're a fan of hardcore music whatsoever, listen to this album. It is a must listen. Now, maybe this just says something about who I follow and hang out with, but Pup's morbid stuff has been on pretty much every album of the year list I've seen over the past month or so. Granted, it's extremely warranted. Fans of the band know the tour-ridden lives these Canadian boys have lived over the past couple of years. Yet, even with that in mind, they still managed to put out one of the best punk rock albums of this year, and secure themselves 3 incredibly solid records. Go check it out. Next up is Natural Everyday Degradation by Dreamo Drive. As described by the band themselves, the record was written as an exploration of the drama and mundanity. The little thing that make you say, this is not my beautiful house. The moments that are a little too warped to be Kodak and feel more surrealistic than photographic. And that certainly is how it feels. It's beautifully mundane from beginning to finish, with everything from keeping old love young, killing your dog, keeping failing relationships, and getting on that grind being covered. The boys are jamming harder than ever, and seeing the videos and pictures they've posted from tour throughout the year, you can tell how much fun they've really been having, something clearly apparent in the record itself as well. Slow Tie's record Nothing Great About Britain is up next. Political in every note and melody, this British boy takes you for a trip that gets you almost as contemptuous as he is about the mother country. Through every bar, he has another funny quip, introspective comment, or some sort of other thing that will get you thinking during the 50-something minute runtime. Next up is Phases by Chase Atlantic. The guys from Down Under are never one to disappoint, and Phases is no change of pace. Phases has some of the best R&B, hip-hop, pop, etc. blends that I've heard in a long time, with everything going from the upbeat Angels, the love-torn Love Is Not Easy, the electric Heaven and Back, and the epic I Never Existed. Back to Back is a solid album, and not something you should skip over. Now, for the second time on this list, is Bring Me the Horizon, with Songs to Go To. Incredibly random and out of the blue, Bring Me the Horizon dropped an 8-track record with a runtime of 1 hour and 15 minutes. The shortest is 4:40. The longest is 24:06. This record doesn't stop for a second, from the entirely produced Steal Something to Underground Big, which starts off as a rap song and goes into metal, and it's just a repeated, distorted loop for 15 to 20 minutes with Ali kind of just rambling about the state of the world. This thing is a mess, and incredibly unpredictable, and I love it. A lot of it feels very meditative, which is very relaxing, and really good to listen to in the car or train or something. Nearing the end, the much-anticipated debut from Honey, Yes, 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 was finally released this year, and it lives up to all that it promised. The 80s alt-rock inspired band has cooler keys, deeper bass lines, and even poppier vocals than before, with more of a focus on some vocals from Kevin as well. This record is quick, snappy, and catchy as hell, and makes for an even better show than their other hits have provided before. And finally, last but not least, is Aries' debut project Welcome Home. With even slicker production than before, the Californian serves up yet another loosely classified emo rap project that bounces with every bass note, 808 slap, and hi-hat hit. My only gripe with this project is that we'd heard several of these songs before it dropped, but at the same time, there were some good-ass fucking songs. From Bad News to Race Car to Carousel, the Wonderworld artist leaves a promise in his wake, and I need more stuff from him. That was it. I know it's like the middle of January now. By the time this video comes out, like late January, but whatever. Those were some cool records of 2019. 2020 seems like it's going to be an even better year. Hopefully Mom Jeans is dropping a record. Hopefully some other people are too. That I can't think of off the top of my head. Maybe Joyce Manor, maybe some other people. I don't know. Will My Chemical Romance, will modern baseball come back? Who knows? We'll see. I don't know. But yeah, again, that was it. I hope you enjoyed. If you've listened to any of these people, let me know, because I love talking about music, again, like I mentioned in the beginning and pretty much every video. So, also, like I mentioned in the beginning, I want to do videos on other stuff too, maybe movies, film, TV shows, like movie Raw, which I talk about all the time, and Adventure Time is a good show. It's like my favorite show for when I was growing up. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see how that goes. Until then, however, again, I hope you enjoyed this list. You should check out a lot of these records. You should check out all of these records. They're very good. I'm gonna start editing now so I can actually get this video out. It's a long one, I told you. But yeah, that's all from me. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like. If you didn't, don't. And I will see you all in the next one.